What advice would you give to someone who wants to start a blog or a podcast?
Start it. I mean, it is that simple. You've probably seen this with people in podcasts when they see you out podcasting somewhere. They start talking like, "Oh, I've always wanted to start a podcast." So, okay, go start a podcast. Like you
just need your phone.
It is easier now than it ever has been to start anything. To start podcast, to start a blog, to start a YouTube channel, if you want to create something, go create it. Like there's nothing stopping you except something in your head that you haven't gotten over.
Yeah, we have fancy equipment because we chose to have fancy equipment.
Yeah, you don't need it.
I know many podcasts that it's just, okay, I have my phone, you have your phone. I have my headset that plugs into my phone. You have yours. This is how we're going to do this.
Yep.
And maybe we're on opposite sides of the country. Maybe we're right next to each other, but phone does everything for us.
Yep. There's no reason you can't. And again, you can grow with things and get better at stuff and make it look better, look fancier, sound better, whatever. But if you just want to create something, if that's your what that you want to do, if you I want to do this, okay, well then do it. Now if I want to start a podcast, but it needs to make money and it needs to sound a certain way and it needs to get a certain number of listens and all this stuff, now you're into a whole different realm because that's something else.
Yeah.
But if all you want to do is make it, just make it.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've made millions of dollars off this podcast.
I've spent a lot.
They're imaginary dollars in my kids' play kitchen.
It probably took for me. It probably took about 7 years before I was able to figure out a way to make the podcast not cost money every month. It was at least 7 years.
Yeah.
And in that 7 years, that's a lot of money that has been spent on the podcast.
Oh, for sure.
It takes a long time to make that back.
Joe handles a lot of that, but there's the website hosting, there's the podcast hosting, there's the equipment, which is usually like a one-time cost, but then, oh, hey, we want to have more people.
Never a one-time cost.
We want to have more people, so we got to get a better board. Oh, wait, we also need more mics. And it just grows and grows.
I don't know how many mixers you guys have had beer spilled on, but I have had about 4 that have been ruined by getting spilled on.
I'm just glad we survived the 100th episode with our mixer intact.
And the newer ones, which are amazing, a lot of the stuff that these companies are putting out are great. But they don't have the thread on the bottom that you can put them on a tripod. Mm-hmm. One of the original mixers, a couple of the original mixers that we used, you could just put a little tripod on them so they would sit up off the table. So if somebody spilled, the spill would just go right under them. It was perfect. They don't really design equipment for beer podcasters anymore.
They don't make IP65 podcasting equipment?
No, they don't. They might now, actually. I don't know.